last weekend to the Philadelphia Eagles, who play in the NFC Championship game this weekend against the Washington Commanders, who went on the road and upset the Detroit Lions. Would you rather have Jayden Daniels or Jordan Love as the Packers' starting quarterback? That's the question coming up on Wilde And Tausch here on 100.5 ESPN. Brian Bulaga and Homer both scheduled to appear coming up this morning. Subscribe for full show podcasts on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. Meanwhile, ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky checks out how to correct some of the issues that Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers offense had this offseason. Check it out over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Basketball, 10th-ranked Marquette winners on the road last night, 76-59. 18th-ranked Wisconsin had a 7-game winning streak snapped at the hands of UCLA, 85-83. Great back-and-forth game at Pauley Pavilion. Bucks in action tonight at the Pelican.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or MetroKiaofMadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Is there anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
The Wednesday edition. The Jayden Daniels versus Jordan Love. I don't know how I feel about this conversation. I'm curious to see where it goes. Edition. The Brian Bulaga. We'll have to ask him. It's a Brian Bulaga Wednesday edition. It's also a Steve the Homer True Wednesday. And it's I need to get caught up on a few of the things that Goody said. We'll get to that sometime, either today or later this week edition of Wilde And Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. Hi. And from his undisclosed location where he continues to fight the good fight against the video snafus that he's facing, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I think maybe this is a sign that I'm not sure what the sign is, but maybe it means for as much as I've pushed and leaned on Digi only, is it possible the fact that I haven't been able to do Digi at all makes me think maybe no more Digi?
No. Definitely not. No.
You have to read signs in life at some point, right? I mean, we've grinded.
I know.
Been on the phone all morning. It didn't work yesterday. Been battling.
Sure.
Maybe I just got to get back to my roots. All audio all the time. No more ditch. Is that? I don't love it.
Audio T.
No, I don't.
That's kind of where I'm at.
I don't think there's any going back. We will get this fixed. We will get it figured out.
Jim, we've kind of went down a lot of different rabbit holes here, and it's not
I am officially out of ideas, for the record. We've tried. I don't know what's going on.
Well, we don't need to troubleshoot it for our fans. We will get it figured out. We've got smart people on the case. And, of course, by smart people, I mean Jody and Sarah. So we will get – well, you're a smart person, but when it comes to this, I think you would agree.
No.
Not your
saying,
forte.
like, thank you. Sarah put in some good work this morning. It's not working. So.
Yeah. So
that's what makes me think it's audio-only T, which I'm okay with.
No, you're not.
Shut the laptop. We're going to just go audio today, baby. That's all we're doing.
All right. I believe in our people, and I'm eager to see your smiling face once again.
For what it's worth, viewership numbers looked up yesterday, even though both of you guys were still photos for about half the show. So I don't know what that means.
I look at the same numbers you do, and they weren't up. But I understand what you're saying.
I don't understand what either of you are saying, so let's just move on.
Okay.
And let's move on to what you teased yesterday that had, as Jesse likes to call them, the YouTube dwellers all aflutter, starting today's show yesterday in the comments. Who would you rather have? This feels so palmy to me. It's incredible. But nevertheless, would you rather have Jordan Love be your Packers quarterback, or would you rather have Jayden Daniels? Tausch, this was your brainchild. Explain it to us.
Let me start by asking this, and I know you don't watch any other football besides the Packers typically, so I'm not sure I'm asking the right guy.
I get that.
Jesse watches maybe a little bit more. Washington. Because I don't think it's ever fair to look at quarterback situation. Not all things are equal. Some people have a much better supporting cast, and that makes them look better, a la Jared Goff, etc.
Ultimate
I would
team
under
game.
no circumstances take Jared Goff over Jordan Love, okay? I would under no circumstances take Sam Darnold over Jordan Love. I would not take Caleb Williams over Jordan Love. But the fact, and it's not just – I think Jayden Daniels has been a good player all season. I remember watching when I was on my California trip. I think they played on a Monday night against Cincinnati, and he looked
You got
dynamite.
to watch half their season.
And I thought, wow, maybe Orlovsky was right saying the Bears should have picked him. And he has gotten better and better. His completion percentage, he doesn't turn it over. He's an athlete. There's just a lot to like. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's because they got Scary Terry and all this. Washington's group is not better than Green Bay's. They're not. Jayden Daniels played at a more consistent level than Jordan Love did this year. Those are facts. And moving forward, I don't know if I can, without a doubt, say this, but as we're sitting here, Jayden Daniels has finished his season eerily similar to how Jordan Love finished his last year. Eerily similar. And I think Jayden Daniels didn't have the same question marks that Jordan Love had. Jayden Daniels is doing this in year 1. Jordan Love was doing it in year 4. I don't know how anyone, and you can be the biggest Packer fan of all time, can't look at this and say, Jayden Daniels right now. I said this last year that Jordan Love was a top 3 NFC quarterback. I have to put Jayden Daniels ahead of Jordan Love as we sit here today. I don't know how anyone could fight that's looking at it objectively. So that doesn't mean Jordan can't take bigger steps. Jayden Daniels is a really good player at a really young age with not that really great of a supporting cast. And when you factor all that in, I got to take Jayden. I do.
So the Commanders finished the season on a 5-game winning streak. Jayden Daniels' numbers over that 5-game stretch, and that, by the way, they lost 3 in a row before that. Also, his numbers through 2 playoff games, he's completing 69.7% of his passes. He's thrown 4 tutters, no picks. His passer rating, 116.2. He's also only taken 1 sack. So not only is he completing passes at a high rate with accuracy, he's not turning the football over. He has not thrown an interception in the 2 playoff games. In his final 5 regular season games, tell me if this sounds similar to some numbers that maybe one Jordan J. Love put up during the final 8 games of the regular season. 70.3% completion percentage. I think that's the exact same completion percentage that Jordan had down the stretch of 2023. 955 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 picks, 105.5 passer rating, and 20 sacks in those 5 games. So the reason I bring these numbers up, not just to read statistics on the radio, which is all Tausch is doing, I'm actually doing it on video as well, is that those numbers, fewer touchdowns during that comparative stretch, more interceptions. There was a time where we were comparing Jordan Love's play this past season to the stretch he put together to end the 2023 season. So I feel like we're palming a little bit. At the same time, I don't think your answer is wrong, right? I mean, there's a reason why he was the number 2 overall pick. Now, that doesn't guarantee anything either, because his backup, Marcus Mariota, was also the number 2 overall pick. And has bounced around and has been in a backup capacity.
Did Marcus Mariota ever have a run like what Jayden Daniels just put out?
No, he did not. Not in Tennessee. Well, what I'm saying is just because you're a high pick doesn't mean that you're always going to be better than guys that maybe go at the bottom of the draft, right? Or the bottom of the first round. And so he's played very, very well in these 2 playoff games. He played very well down the stretch. His final numbers for the season, he threw 9 picks, 25 touchdowns. Jordan Love threw 25 touchdowns, 11 picks. I feel like not only has Jayden Daniels played far better down the stretch than Jordan Love did, but Jordan Love played more poorly down the stretch of this season than last season, and you put it all in the same pot and you stir it up, and the soup doesn't taste so great if you're a Packers fan, if you're making this comp. But the point I made after last season ended for the Packers holds true for Jayden Daniels now, right? And that is opposing defensive coordinators going into 2025 will have 19, actually 20, and maybe 21 if they make the Super Bowl games to figure out, all right, how do we better defend this guy? Because he's eaten our lunch, just like Jordan Love ate a bunch of people's lunches last year.
So I push back on that because do you really think that's the reason Jordan Love didn't make the big jump this year is because Brian Flores and Aaron Glenn had more tape? Because
I think it's part of it, yes.
Last year and they didn't. And by the way, Green Bay went and scored a ton of points late in both of those games that they had all that tape. So,
well, you know what's happening late in those games.
What?
Well, if you're talking about scoring points, they're playing in a different defensive style when they're playing with leads, right?
The Detroit-Green Bay game, the second half of the season here? No, it was a pretty tight game, was it not?
It was. They took the lead at one point, 28-24. But you're talking about the Minnesota game. The Minnesota game.
Talking about the Minnesota game last year last year around New Year's when everybody was saying oh, they already got tape on him. They've already seen him once, and he went and torched him. I'm saying it's more about the injury this year than it is about tape. Oh, we got Jordan figured out. Well, then why didn't you figure it out last year? You had tape last year.
It's a bunch of things, isn't it? Tape can be part of that. The injuries can be part of it.
Yeah, but
their inability to run an effective play-action game is part of it. The fact that his pass catchers didn't elevate is part of it. The fact that Matt LaFleur didn't scheme as many guys open as he did a year ago is part of it. That's all part of it, isn't it?
I don't know. I think injury is the biggest factor in it. Or if it's not, I think you start questioning where you're at. There's a lot of Packer fans that are questioning about Jordan Love and if he's going to elevate and get a lot better than what he is. Because at some point you look at it and say, all right, he has been inconsistent for more of his career than he's been consistent. That's just kind of, if you just look at the numbers. He had the great run, and then this year he did not have one game where I thought he was dynamite the whole game. I don't have one. If somebody can explain which game he played dynamite for 4 quarters, I'm all ears. I'd love to hear it, but I didn't see that. So is it the other guys? Again, I just don't think Green Bay's skill and offensive line is worse than Washington's. I don't. That doesn't mean that Washington, their football team and everything else is better. It is because they are finishing this season in a better place. That's the facts. So looking at it, I think what I'd like to do, and we can do this next, is I had Jordan Love in the top 3 of the NFC quarterbacks last year. I don't think I can do that this year. I don't think I can put him in the top 3. I don't think I'll be as low as some people have him, but I don't think he's there as we sit here 2 full seasons into Jordan Love's playing career.
I'm super curious where you're going to put him because not putting him in the top 3 is, as you might say, no blank. Speaking of no blank, if you are thinking about changing out your windows, no blank, the best decision to make is to call Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Happy New Year! It means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from the seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0 interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. But hurry up. You only have until January 31st, so visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. Certain restrictions do apply. This is kind of one of the worst winters of all time, too. Like I like Wisconsin. I don't mind cold weather. Like, I actually like 25 degrees. Like, that's where I like. But the fact that it is so cold and there's no snow, and now I'm looking down and my boy City is sending me pictures of 7 inches of snow in Pensacola, Florida.
Yeah.
We don't have any blanking snow, and we're dealing with all this cold. Like, that is the worst-case scenario for a Wisconsin winter. Is there a worst-case scenario?
We'll discuss that and Tausch's power rankings of NFL quarterbacks. Next, it's Wilde And Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison wants you to start the year behind the wheel of a brand new ride in our Road to the Motherlode giveaway. On Friday, January 31st, there are lots of opportunities for you to strike gold. 3 winners will be chosen every half hour from 6 p.m. until 9:30, with each taking home a cash prize between $500 and $2,500. Then at 10 o'clock, one grand prize winner will receive our largest single prize ever, a $50,000 vehicle certificate. And it's only at
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott and Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. The holiday season may be over, but that means Valentine's Day is approaching. It doesn't matter the occasion, birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, or if you're in the doghouse, or if you want to stay out of it, I recommend Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and in Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
It's New Year, new deals at Metro Ford of Madison. With 204 new vehicles in stock, Metro Ford is your home for the best selection and the biggest savings of 2025. Enjoy the 2024 Ford Escape with 1.9% APR for 66 months, $15.97 per thousand borrowed. Or get the future of driving with the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 72 months. But hurry, these deals end February 3rd. Visit Metro Ford in person or online at metrofordofmadison.com and drive off in the new Ford of your dreams today.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
The Milwaukee Bucks, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Great bounce pass to Giannis, and he sends it down with a reverse jam.
Tonight on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
You know what I find interesting? That you teased this topic yesterday. We discussed it to start the show. And please, correct me if I'm wrong, since I can't see your actual face, because I'm just looking at a photo of you on the sideline, smiling.
Yeah.
Back in your playing days.
Radio OT, or audio OT. What are we calling it now? AOT?
I think you would rather discuss which kind of winter you would prefer than which quarterback you would prefer.
No, I'd like to do both. I like both.
But if you had to choose one,
I just think it's so gloomy when it's freezing out and there's no snow. Like, I want to have somewhere between 8 to 10 inches of snow just sitting there packed away. And when it gets to be March, start melting. But when it's all just brown and cold and bleh, yeah, it's not what we're supposed to be doing here in the wintertime. Plus, I want to see the snowmobile salespeople and the snowmobilers. And I like to go out and snowshoe. And I want to be able to go tubing and doing all that stuff. That's part of the charm of living in Wisconsin. None of that. So I'm irritated. I'm not even irritated. It's just blech. Blech.
So,
do you guys disagree? I mean,
it's very blech. You're right. I'm with old T.
Blech. The last 2 days, the sun has been shining. We just haven't gone outside because it's minus 40 with the wind chill.
I don't even mind. I don't mind the cold. Just give me some snow.
Get out of here with the I don't mind the cold.
I don't.
You mind it when it's minus 40 degrees with the wind chill. You do.
It's not ideal.
The cold isn't that bad because it's a day or two and it's gone. Like, it doesn't impact your
you're not
driving
having
ability.
6 weeks of. You're not having a 6-week vortex.
It's not the worst.
So no.
So I'm reading the YouTube comments. We'll get back to meteorologist Tausch to go along with audio Tausch and no video Tausch momentarily, because we do need to check in with Brian Bulaga to find out if he's removing snow from his Florida estate.
Well,
I don't know
probably aren't doing great down there.
Florida geography. Yeah, not great, Bob. There's a few comments in the YouTube chat that I would like to read. Okay. One, which is humorous to me. You know how I know I love you guys? If this Jayden Daniels versus Jordan Love topic was an article on Bleacher Report, I wouldn't even open it, but I'm going to listen for 3 hours. It does feel a little, wouldn't you agree? It feels a little clickbaity.
No, I wouldn't agree.
So
listen,
I'm
not opposed to throwing out clickbait stuff. You guys know that. I don't have a problem. It's not my deal. It's not what I like.
You're the king
I like
of
having
clickbait. Who doesn't
I
click
read
the baits?
clickbaits, but I don't click. So how am I the king of clickbait if I don't click?
You never
have
actually
to
get
click
into
to
any
be
of the
baited
information.
by the click. No, you have. In order to fall for clickbait, you have to click. Otherwise, it's just a lure. Do you think fish don't jump on bait? They can look at it, they can see it, but they're not getting a frying pan if they don't jump on the clickbait. Okay?
Yeah, you're a master of it. I'm just saying that it feels
Good
like
one.
something that is designed to get
Jason,
people's
here's the
attention.
deal. It's
and
not.
let me finish because I
Okay,
think
well,
it is
you're
a
saying
word.
I'm clickbaiting and I'm not.
No,
So
I wasn't.
continue.
I wasn't done, as is often the case on this program. But I think it is instructive because there was a premature crowning of Jordan a year ago. Would you agree?
I mean, after seeing this season, I don't know if I'm still going to say it was premature because, Jason, he was playing the best. He was playing quarterback at the highest level of anybody in the league last year in December and January. That's it. He was. There was nobody playing
and
the
why
position
didn't he?
at a better level.
And do you really believe it was just his injuries that caused him to not sustain it?
I don't know. No, I can't just put it on that, but do I think that he was much more skeptical of using his feet to make plays after he ripped his knee up and his groin? I do. And I think that was a big part of what he did last year, was able to threaten people, and part of it was there was more play action and there were more easy throws. That I can't argue. But I don't know, and I think we all hope that that's the case. I still believe that Jordan Love is going to be a big boy quarterback in this league. Right now, he's a quarterback in the NFL. Like, he is a good, you can win with him, but is he an elevator guy? He's not an elevator guy through this season. He wasn't an elevator. He was a flatliner. I guess I don't know what. I'm not going to say he's a game manager, but whatever. I don't have the analogy. I can only come up with 10 a day. I can't come up with 11. I need you guys to step up. And
What
come
have
up
you
with
been
something.
doing? What were you doing earlier today that you've already used up all 10?
I used like 3 great ones already today. I don't even remember my great one that I was making sure. I think I was on KBN and I forced those guys to.
He did.
That was yesterday.
Anyways,
he did those digi only.
Jason,
we just couldn't see him.
Is Jordan Love an elevator guy?
His elevator is not lined up. No.
No. That's not what I asked.
Well, wait. That's what you did.
Is
That's
he an
your
elevator
thing.
guy?
Are his elevators lined up?
Is he an elevator of
That's
his
how I
roster?
interpreted it.
Is he an elevator of his roster?
Not yet.
So
He didn't elevate it this year.
No.
No.
Jesse?
He did not do that this year.
You saying no or yes?
No, I was actually talking to my father-in-law about this the other day. I don't think he has made the players around him better yet.
Well, what did your father-in-law say?
Why don't you just tell us what your father-in-law said?
He believes in Jordan Love still. He thinks he's really good. He thinks Christian Watson being hurt is a big part of the problem, which I also agree with.
You guys disagree on that then, huh?
No, we're on the same page. Well, we disagree about Jordan Love.
No, you don't believe in
making
Christian
others.
Watson. You don't think it matters if he's out there. You've been very clear about that.
But my father-in-law also says if Christian Watson isn't out there and has a chance to develop with Jordan Love, then he's not going to get better. Him not being out there is part of the problem. So he could be
Chicken and egg deal.
He could be wide receiver 1 that could make the roster better, make the offense look better. He
Chicken
can't
and
stay
egg
healthy,
deal.
so therefore the offense can't evolve.
I got news for you. He ain't gonna be ready till November at the earliest. So they better have.
You didn't think Rashawn Gary'd be back either, and he was. So you don't know. Don't play doctor on Twitter or on radio or on Digi. We don't know. Odds would be that you're going to be right, but you don't know. So we don't need to make these crazy speculations about when and if he'll be back. But come on. That's not
How
what
is
you
that
do,
a
Jason.
crazy
That's not-
speculation? T.J.
Because
Hawkinson.
right now, I know he ain't
Go ahead.
T.J. Hawkinson.
No,
ain't T.J. Hawkinson.
he's
You don't
got to
know.
be able to run even faster. That's his signature.
That is his signature.
Okay. All right, we've resolved nothing about Winter. We've resolved nothing about which quarterback you would prefer.
Well, Jason, before Bulaga joins us, is it his injury or why did Jordan Love not elevate? What's your? Is he just not good? In your opinion, is this who he's going to be?
It is always a myriad of reasons, and I know that's not
Give me
sexy,
the top
and you
reason.
can't say.
Give me the top reason.
Their offense as a whole, from the receivers making a jump to the
spicy.
Do you think this is going to make him want to share an opinion more, Tausch?
I don't know. That's why I love this audio. I can't see his face, so I can only go off of audio language, and it feels like he's getting frustrated.
Yeah, that would be correct. Yes.
I wish I could see your face and punch it.
That's not nice.
I'm not going to win
very
that fight.
violent.
It is, yeah.
Don't
It's
do
spicy.
that.
It's spicy from what I hear. I think the entirety of the offense, including the head coach / offensive play caller / play designer, did not make a leap from how they finished 2023 into 2024. They got an all-world running back who everyone except Bill Barnwell agrees is really good, and they never figured out how to take a really good thing, which is adding that running back, Josh Jacobs, and integrate it to allow it to help the passing game be more effective. And as we have talked about many times about Jordan Love's very good to great to as good as anyone in the league down the stretch play last season, part of that was the fact that Aaron Jones was stringing together 5 straight 100-yard games. The offensive line was playing great. Now, do I think Jordan Love could have played better had Travis Glover and Telly Monster, Kadeem Telfort, not been playing left guard against the Eagles? I do. Do I think that is a bad pick that he threw to Zach Bond, even though the blame went on Malik Heath for running his route too shallow?
I blame Malik Willis. I blamed Willis.
I caught it. Don't do that. I caught it.
Okay.
God. I don't like audio only, Tausch.
We got to get this digi. We got to get dotted. We got to get digital OT back. I'm hoping we get dotted here soon. I do.
I hope you just tell us about Prize Picks.
I can see AI can annoy you. Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. I just put one of my entries. I'm going to have a bunch this weekend because it's a great weekend of sports. I just went You had your freebie, Jayden Daniels, 0.5 passing yards. God, I'm crowning him already. I'm putting him ahead of Jordan Love, 0.5 pass, and then I went Jalen Hurts, less than 16 completions. I don't think he's fully healthy. I don't love where he's at right now. And then I took a little flyer and a fryer on Olamide Zaccheaus, wide receiver. He's an up-and-comer, if you will. Zaccheaus, yeah. 1.5 receptions. Got a little green thing next to him. I went more. I'm turning my sports. I think the Eagles are going to struggle. I'm turning my sports opinions into real cash. You can as well. You can win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks by watching the playoffs. Prize Picks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. The best way to win real money, and you can do it in 60 seconds or less. Download the app today. Use that code WI. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Now, again, download the app. Use that code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. And you got the Jayden Daniels freebie, 0.5 passing yards to bank it off of. Prize Picks.
Run your game. Are we supposed to be calling those freebies again? I just want to get clarification on that.
Yeah, I want to make sure it's not a freebie, but it's very your percentages are, I think, in a pretty good place.
Okay,
they're definitely not freebies.
We were definitely on track to get to Brian Bulaga early. Instead, we'll get to him next.
Well,
it's Wilde And Tausch.
I can't put that on me.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick.
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, which you know I've loved going way back to when I was a kid participating in the legendary Book It program. And now here's a question. Do you get pizza or do you like wings? Well, at Pizza Hut, there's only one right answer. Both. Introducing Pizza Hut's original stuffed crust and wings bundle. Large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings with 2 dips, and it's all for just $19.99. Pizza Hut is home to the original stuffed crust pizza, topped and stuffed with over a half pound of delicious, melty cheese, and Pizza Hut's boneless wings. They are kitchen-fried and not oven-dried, sauced and tossed to perfection, and delivered hot directly to you. Pizza and wings or wings and pizza? The best deals have both. The unbeatable value of the stuffed crust and wings bundle is perfect to feed the whole crew on game day, family night, or any gathering. Order on the app or order online at pizzahut.com. The stuffed crust and wings bundle, only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Tuesday Night Hoops on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania is where you can find the area's best high school basketball games all season long. Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. Catch star recruits, rivalries, and state championship contenders every Tuesday night. It's Tuesday Night Hoops on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on 100.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous friends. Yeah, I
Who would you rather have at right tackle, Brian Bulaga or Mark Tauscher? That is not the debate for today. Jayden Daniels, Jordan Love, and where, more importantly, and the reason we're doing this, it is not clickbaity, well, maybe a little, is I really want to understand how people feel about where Jordan Love is at, and if there's some quarterback envy as you watch the Washington Commanders and Jayden Daniels. That's what I was trying to say earlier when I was perhaps interrupted by someone who doesn't have a video stream today. Time for Brian Bulaga. Brian, good morning. Is it snowing by you? Do you need to borrow my Aaron's snow thrower in Florida today?
It's cold. I'll tell you what, it is cold today. It's been cold the last few days. I mean, it's raining, and it's in the low 40s. If it got any colder, we would be getting a lot of snow, but we're fortunately not far enough north where Florida's getting a lot of that snow. But it's cold. I'll tell you what, this is not, I didn't sign up for this. I did not sign up for this down here. So it's a little chilly. I walked the dog this morning. He wasn't even having it. He didn't like it. And he's huge. He's got muscle, fat, fur. I got fat.
Just like you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, I just wasn't having it. So,
Blue, what's your perfect temp? What is your perfect temp?
I love a good 65 to 70 degrees. That's like ideal. That's perfect for me.
Okay. All right. I would go 45 to 50, wearing shorts with a long sleeve and a vest. That to me is perfection. Not a ton of wind. Maybe let's get to 55, where you can maybe get a little tinge of a sweat if you're doing something. But outside of it, I don't know why anybody wants to be sweating. I don't.
Honestly, I don't sweat in 65 degrees.
You're skinny, lean.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, Blue. So we're going to move off the weather because I think Jason's bored with it. Jayden Daniels, when you see him, to me it's very similar to how Jordan Love finished the season last year. Jayden Daniels had a great rookie season. Jordan Love, for a first-year starter, I thought last year, played the second half of the season as well as anybody. If you had to, you were GM Brian Bulaga Kunst. Are you taking Jayden Daniels right now, or are you taking Jordan Love?
What a hot seat question.
Can we just take a moment and appreciate Brian Bulaga Kunst for a second?
It's a good one we brought back.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, please continue.
Yeah, it's a tough question because, obviously everyone's seeing the way Daniels is playing, and it's really impressive. And he's a dynamic playmaker, and you look at the two players, and they are very different players, right? Daniels is is more in the mold of what you see Lamar Jackson doing and how he moves and the type of offense and the style that they run. He's not exactly like Lamar Jackson, but more of the style, right? And Jordan Love is a little more conventional, more of what we've become accustomed to seeing in Green Bay when you look at how Green Bay has developed quarterbacks with Favre and Aaron and now Jordan Love. And it's kind of what you're used to. And what I'm used to is the style of Jordan Love. And that's kind of all I've known playing football, right? Like that type of quarterback. It's not a knock on the style of quarterback that Jayden Daniels is or Lamar Jackson or guys that I've competed against like Mike Vick or guys like that. Those dudes are tremendous quarterbacks and athletes, and they're so dynamic. I'm just used to being around guys like, Jordan Love, and I blocking for them and understanding the way they play and preferring that style. So for me, I'm always going to lean on the side of having that type of player because I feel like their game as time goes on, right? And it's the same. It's always the same. Like you look at Mahomes too, as early in his career, he was kind of that way too. He would move around and run a little bit. As time has gone on, he's not that guy anymore. He is a pocket type player, and he's settled into that type of passer and that type of quarterback. Yeah, he can get out every now and again and run, but that's not his game. So, and Jordan does that as well, but not as much as we see Jayden Daniels doing. As time goes on, those legs don't work the same as they did when you were a rookie or second or third or fourth year player. So having that skill set of being a really good pocket passer and being that style of quarterback, I think carries you in the league a little bit further. So to me, I'm still going to go with Jordan Love, as dynamic and as good as Jayden Daniels is playing and as fun as he is to watch. I'm going to stay with Jordan Love. That's just me.
Even when you look at the fact that Jaden probably was more consistent throughout his rookie season, he's a lot younger, and he's more accurate with the football, you're still sticking with Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to look too at. Now, I can honestly say this, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything about the Commanders' offense, right? Like I can't sit here and say I know the type of stuff. I mean, I watched obviously the Detroit game and I saw the type of offense they were running. Lots of triple option type things, lots of very easy type throws. Yeah, there's some deep shots that he completed at a very high rate, but there's a lot of quick screens out wide. There's a lot of easy throws to the tight end, a lot of intermediate to short routes over the middle. So if we're talking about accuracy and things like that, yeah, I mean, he was very accurate with the football. There's no doubt about it. So we have to look at what he's being asked to do compared to what Jordan Love's being asked to do in the LaFleur offense and that passing game and things like that. So, but again, I'm not sitting here and saying I know exactly what the Commanders' offense is, right? Like, sure. I don't know. I watched it enough to understand it. But I do know that, yeah, he has a lot of positives in his game. Like, I am not taking anything away from the guy. The kid's really good. He is really good. But I think Jordan Love is only going to get better. I really do. Like, and the more I think about this season or this last season, and I hear people talk about the regression and this, like, I don't feel that way. Like, I don't feel like a big regression happened. Like, I'm just not there with how he played and how the season went and his numbers. Like, everyone's so caught up on numbers, and we have to look at what this offense was before we talk about numbers, right? Like, and that's my biggest takeaway from when, like, Jordan Love as a whole this season is, like, this offense was a running offense. Like, and that's just what it was. And before we can talk about Jordan Love's regression from numbers from this year to last year, like, this offense's identity was Josh Jacobs. And that's where they relied on a bunch. And I understand that we wanted to see, another 4,000 plus yard season and more touchdowns, and we wanted to not throw as many picks early. I get that. But this offense was very reliant on Jacobs, and well-deserved too, because the guy was a workhorse. So I'm still saying Jordan Love. I just am, and that's just where I'm at with it.
So, all right, a couple things. First of all, I think if we're going to say that it was a run-first offense, then we need to get further into something that you and Tausch and I have talked a lot about in the last several weeks, and that is how effectively they transitioned from their run game that they ran with Aaron Jones to the run game that they utilized with Josh Jacobs, and how that didn't match up with their play-action game, 1. 2, Brian, my question for you is not, were there regressions in terms of his numbers? I'm just curious if you saw, if you were disappointed with his play. Like, I feel like his accuracy was not as good. Tausch thinks that it was primarily the injuries. The knee injury happened in the opener. He missed 2 games. I certainly give him a pass for his inaccuracy against the Vikings when he came back. I also give him some grace for then he has the groin injury in Jacksonville. But by the end of the season, I'm not saying he was 100% healthy, but he said he didn't need any sort of surgery. So I guess I'm wondering how you view exactly how you saw him play. Forget about the numbers for a second. He did not play as well as I expected him to. I expected him to make a jump, and even with teams having film on him, and not only did he not make a jump, but there were some games where I did wonder if he was not as good as he was a year ago. Didn't you feel the same way?
Obviously there were, early on, the inconsistencies and kind of the inaccuracies of the interceptions is kind of what surprised me. And I think that's what surprised a lot of people. And to me, that's what caught me off guard, right? And I think the turnovers is what I think jumped out at me early on, right? And I understand where you're coming from with later on in the season, some of, him not being as accurate as what we initially thought he should be or what he was prior. There were games where he wasn't as good. I get it. And I guess it's because I understand what you're saying. And there were games that you look at it and be like, man, he should have been better at, in that drive or that series or that quarter. But I don't look at it as a one game, like a one game thing. I look at the thing as a whole, I guess. And as a whole, from start to finish and how we started, which I thought the start wasn't very good. And I get the injury, right? The knee, and like you said, then the groin, and then there were turnover issues. And then I felt like he corrected that and kind of went on a really nice run. And we all, joke about the Toyota-thon thing, but he went on a really nice run and played really good football and took care of the football and threw the ball well. And the offense was performing at a high level. And then we kind of saw, the Detroit game happen, and I thought the offense was productive there. The Minnesota game really wasn't very good from anyone, right? And I think we can look around at what happened in that game from an offensive standpoint, and, we can judge that in a certain way. And then the Chicago game is where I kind of look at where, from a performance standpoint, and I know he got hurt with the elbow and all that. That was the game where the last game of the season is where I kind of went, that was not what I expected from him. That was probably the one game where I look at it as a whole, and I was like, man, that was probably the one game where I expected him to grab it by the horns and take them, get that win and get that thing going in the playoffs, and it just didn't happen. But from a whole, I don't think it was like a giant disappointment. I don't see it.
Not giant. I don't agree. I agree with you. I don't think it was giant. But
I
again,
don't agree with my own assessment, is what Jason was going to say.
No, that's not what I mean. But to me, could you get on video so I can give you dirty looks and have them actually be received, please? I guess what I'm saying is, and Matt LaFleur does this all the time. He does his best to take the onus off of the quarterback, which I think is a good thing. And I think it's an accurate thing. I do. But as I said to him, we all know how this works, right? Like he is always going to be the focal point. And do I think there were a bunch of extenuating circumstances here? Not just the injury to Christian Watson late in the year. I mean, he was available for most of the year. So let's not pretend that, when he wasn't involved, it was because he was hurt, because that wasn't the case. You got Romeo Doubs, who doesn't show up for work. You've got a guy that some of us, I know Rob Domofsky did a story on ESPN.com about it, thought that Jayden Reed was going to be a 100-catch guy this season. And instead, his numbers were worse. Obviously, the best thing about their offense was Josh Jacobs. Their offensive line played well for most of the year, right? So I'm trying to understand why he wasn't better. And that, to me, is this whole Jayden Daniels, Jordan Love debate, if we want to call it that, for me anyway, is more of just a referendum on where do you think Jordan Love is going into his third year as the quarterback? Because right now, it's a pretty hard argument to say, I know you made it, it's hard to say I would rather have Jordan Love, in part because it seems to me that the quarterback position continues to evolve, and the idea that Jordan Love, who, by the way, ran for like 56 yards this season, or 83 yards, something ridiculous. He had 247 rushing yards last year. So that was part of his game that definitely disappeared. So they have to get that back in as well. I don't know. My struggle here is that.
How many yards rushing, Jason? Say that again. That is a big drop.
So Jordan Love's rushing statistics in 2023 were 200. Hold on, now I lost the page. 247 yards. 247 yards on 50 attempts. He had 5 rushing touchdowns. He averaged 4.9 yards a carry. Now, again, some of those are sneaks, so I'm not really worried about the average. 2024, all right, so 50 for 247, his first year as the starter. 2024, 25, so half as many rushing attempts, 83 rushing yards.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we can all state the obvious, right? Like, the injuries were a concern, probably from LaFleur, right? Like, maybe getting him in situations, and mentally for him, right, getting himself in situations where if I run, there's a good chance guys are going to, try to cut me down at the knees or whatever it may be, right? Mentally in his own head, that's where he's at. And I totally understand that. The second part of that, I would take a guess, and maybe I'd have to go back and look at the film from 2023 of when he ran. A lot of those runs potentially came from keepers and boots where he was open to run and got out of the pocket and ran, which they didn't do much of this year. So those opportunities, as he's bootlegging out of the pocket in play action, and would take off in 23, weren't available in 24 because they just didn't run it. So that's part of the game that hopefully they return to next season, and they run more of that, and he has more opportunities to do that because, as you said, Jason, the quarterback position always evolves, right? Like, and there's trends that pop up, and there's things that happen, and coaches adjust to it, and it's just as defensive coordinators adjust to things that happen and trends that happen in the NFL. There's offensive coaches grab things from teams as well and use it. So I would imagine that LaFleur is going to, do a self scout in the offseason and see what they didn't do, right, and what they need to get back to, and see what they did in 23. Probably a 2-year self scout, heck, maybe even a 3-year self scout, and compare these 3 years and really dive back in and compare what's gone on, right, and see. Because if there is a mentality in the building, right, like, and I don't know what the mentality in the building is, because if there is a mentality in the building that they believe, or there is talk that, hey, did Jordan take a step back, right? If they believe that, there definitely is going to be a big self-scout of what happened from this year, from this year to last, and what what did we do offensively? And I can assure you the first thing is going to be, while we had this giant leap in the run game with our running back and what he did so well, our run game changed. And what changed was the play action that came off of it. So, there's going to be collaboration between what happened in 23 and what they did so well in 24 and kind of blending those to get a better result in 25.
We'll get to more with Brian Bulaga next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
Watch every ESPN Madison show live every day. Subscribe to ESPN Madison on YouTube for live video of every show and exclusive content. Just search ESPN Madison.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. The college football season officially in the books. While the crown goes to the Big Ten, Mark Tauscher sees some holes regarding college football's future. From NIL, transfer portal, and growing conferences, here's what he had to say on Tuesday's edition of Wilde And Tausch.
The only way to actually do it is to say, we're going to get this thing so it's going to be a level playing field, and then it comes down to coaching, organization, and developing players. And it just feels like we are so far away from that I don't know what that formula is going to be.
Wilde And Tausch, weekdays from 9 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Outside In. That's what we call our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the cool stuff you want outside in your yard displayed inside. Patios, decks, pavers, and an automated pergola, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, a putting green, and in-ground pool, even a converting 3-season room that's either outside or inside. We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. Your outdoor living potential awaits you at our Outside In showroom, 2018 South Stoughton Road. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Gold medalist and ESPN Madison foodie Matt Hamilton here to tell you about Metcalf's Market. As a proud Wisconsinite, you know I support local, and it doesn't get more local than 4th-generation family-operated Metcalf's Market. Renowned for offering an extensive selection of local and premium quality foods, it's the best place to shop for me and my family. Where family tradition meets commitment to quality, sustainability, and supporting local communities, head to one of their locations today in Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or Wauwatosa. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
It's the 2024 model closeout sale at Zimbrick Chevrolet Sun Prairie. Save $11,500 on a 24 Blazer EVRS with 0.9% APR available. Save $2,000 on a 24 Colorado Crew Cab work truck. Save $54.56 on a 24 Silverado HD 2500 Crew Cab 4x4 with 3.9 APR available. Hurry, these closeout deals won't last for long. Visit Zimbrick Chevrolet Sun Prairie and ZimbrickChevrolet.com for details. Offers end January 31st.
When you or a loved one are faced with an unexpected injury or illness, Stoughton Health's Urgent Care is there for you. Stoughton Health has 4 convenient urgent care locations for the care you need without the wait. We have urgent care locations in Stoughton, Oregon, McFarland, and Cottage Grove with extended hours to fit your schedule. Stoughton Health accepts over 160 insurances, including Dean Health Plan, Quartz, Humana, and more. Please visit stoughtonhealth.com for more information. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Wilde And Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I've got some famous friends you probably
Continuing with Brian Bulaga. Brian, all right, so is it fair to say you're not worried about Jordan Love?
Yeah.
It's fair to say that, right? So what are you worried about? Like, as we embark on the offseason,
the cold,
what's
his oranges not getting to grow in this
Jason
cold
and Kelsey, the very cold donkeys from the neighbor?
Donkeys?
Mm-hmm.
The dog.
Yep. Very concerned about the wildlife down here. Very concerned.
They're more
Not
domesticated
used to this
donkeys,
weather.
from what I understand. So what are you worried about? When you look at this team and I ask you the number one thing you're concerned about, what is it?
I guess there's a couple things, right? And the quarterback's certainly not it. I think for me, when I look at the whole picture laid out, and I mean, I feel pretty good defensively. I mean, at a corner, at a pass rusher, okay, like that's I think that can get done. I think I'm worried most about what's happening offensively on the outside at wide receiver, because we saw the group kind of struggle down the stretch when Watson went out. And we got into these games, we just struggled. So, what can we do? And he's going to be out for extended time next year as well. Like that, an ACL late in the season, you're not coming back to start the season. So, when he is able to recover and get back from that, no one really knows. I mean, even if he
No, Jason said December. Jason
No,
knows.
I said
He's got it back in
November
December.
at the earliest.
No,
he
you
tore
said
his
December.
ACL.
Yeah, I know. Listen,
You
I lived
both
it.
have had.
Hey,
you two have
I
4
lived
combined
it.
ACL tears.
Well, you're not as fast as he is. Well, no blank. Yeah, I know I'm not. So
Not as
I
nice
just
either.
preemptively shut you off on that.
But
Brian,
regardless,
one of
he's
your
gonna miss some
guys,
time.
and I don't know if you played with him, Khalil Mack. So I guess the question I have.
So we're done with your answer, by the way. Tausch wants to ask you about Khalil Mack.
Well, no.
Okay.
You're talking about Christian Watson in the ACL. We don't know, but Brian just said it great. You don't know. He's not going to be back for the start of the season, but he might. Just
were you
don't say
done?
it's Christmas.
Were you done with your answer, Brian Bulaga?
I mean, the only thing I was going to add to it was I'm worried about the depth up front because we saw what happened in the playoff game against Philly when one guy went out.
Yeah.
So what does Goody do with most likely Myers leaving in free agency and Elton moving a spot and most likely Jordan Morgan playing left guard? What do we do to add depth to the offensive line? And I'm just not talking about bodies, right? I'm talking about depth that you can rely on because we see what happens when you go against good teams and someone gets hurt. You need to have guys that are capable, that can play, and how it impacts an offense if you don't. So that would be my biggest concern.
Blue, what would you say to Goody? Because it's apparent he wants young players. He's not interested in paying older guys. We saw, Rick Wagner came in. They brought in, what's the dude that was on 4 different playoff rosters, Jason? He was with Valdiers.
Jared
Valdier.
You have Kevin Zeitler. He is somebody that I would look at if I'm Green Bay. He's an old veteran. Take him from Detroit. He could be one of those guys. But do you want to bring a veteran in to start? Or do you want to have somebody that will come in and be that swing guy? How would you approach this, kind of understanding Goody's philosophy and looking at the Packers roster? Because there's no doubt they learned a hard lesson. They were not prepared for Elton Jenkins. Is it Monk is going to take a big jump and then Elton can stay at guard? Or what are you, if you're doing this, if you're in charge, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, Zeitler, that's a name that if he's available, I would take a look at him because he's been playing a while and he's definitely proven. Do you bring him in to start? I think you definitely bring him in to compete and you see how he does. I mean, I think he's been proving that he can still play at a really high level. He did it for Detroit essentially all year. and they ran the ball pretty effectively, and they threw the ball pretty effectively. What he costs, I am not sure. I don't know what he got paid this year in Detroit, but
10 or 12,
I
think 10 or 12, Brian.
That's what he got paid?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Good for him. So it's so yeah, that's probably not what Goody's looking to pay.
Wait. Were we just to clarify? We were still talking about Kevin Zeitler, or did I miss a transition?
Yeah, Kevin Zeitler.
I thought we were on Khalil Mack.
No, we're talking Zeitler.
Kevin Zeitler's contract. Kevin Zeitler's contract with the Lions, 1 year, $6 million.
Yeah, but he earned up to 10. You can look at his incentives and things like that. Go ahead.
Sure.
So, if I am Goody, I mean,
I'm flipping
I think
you
I
off
would
right now, Jason.
Yeah.
Just so
Not that I could see you.
On the
Yeah, that's a
digital,
shame.
I am throwing double birds at you, just so you know. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
facts. My bad.
I just think you definitely have to take a deep look at bringing a veteran guy like that in, whether or not he's going to be a rotational guy or your swing guy, or you're actually going to have him compete and push, say, a Jordan Morgan for that left guard spot or whatever, configuration of that line you're going to do. I think it's worth it because, like you said it, like you have to be prepared for when things happen, right? And injuries are just part of this. They're part of the game. Like things happen, throughout a game, or they happen at practice, and surprises pop up. So to not be prepared in the biggest moments, like in Philly, and then have to put guys out there that, I'm not saying they weren't ready, but to put them in a situation where they haven't experienced that against a really good opponent, it's tough business, man. And it really impacted the offense. So to have someone that is there, like a Zeitler, I'm not saying it has to be a guy, him exactly, but to have a guy there that you can put in there that has been there, done that, has experienced it, knows the level that he's about to walk into is very valuable. And I'm not saying you got to load your roster down with that guy, because we know Goody does not want to do that, and that's okay. But to have a couple of those guys kind of, dropped throughout the roster is not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, and in turn, Khalil Mack just announced he's going to be coming back to play. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. Is that somebody you look at, or do you say, I like our young guys? They obviously feel like they needed a new voice in that room to crank that up, because that was another part of this season, I think. Yes, the sack total ended up looking okay, but when you played the big boys and you weren't able to get home, Detroit showed you had to get after Goff. We weren't able to disrupt him enough. Washington was able to disrupt him a little bit. Is he somebody you look at? When Joe Thomas joined us last week, I asked Myles Garrett. I would be on board with a Myles Garrett. I don't know if I want a 32, 33-year-old Khalil Mack, though. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think Khalil, I think he had a somewhat decent year this year in L.A. I don't know his exact numbers or what.
6 sacks.
Okay. Probably not his best year as a pro. But the defense
17 the year before.
Yeah, a little different. Obviously, the guy's played phenomenal football over his career. Gone against him a bunch. He's a really good player. But if I were picking a guy, I would certainly go after a Myles Garrett. It's no slight to Khalil Mack. I think Khalil Mack, at 32 or 33 years old, I'm not sure how old he is. I think
33. Yep.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know how much longer he wants to play, or if he's just deciding he still wants to play. You just don't know a guy's want to when he actually gets back into camp. You just don't know. So I would always go with the guy that is a little bit. I mean, Myles Garrett isn't like this young guy. Like he's like in his second or third year. Myles Garrett is a veteran in this league. He's been playing for a long time. He's very accomplished, but he's still considered young in the NFL, and he's very, very, very good. So if you could go get a guy like that, great. Will it happen? Probably not. But it's certainly fun to talk about right now. It's certainly exciting to talk about. But again, do you want to take the risk of going out and getting a Khalil Mack on a 1-year deal and seeing if it pans out, and who knows what that could cost, right? Like, I don't know what that's going to cost for a 1-year deal with Khalil Mack. It could cost $10 million, $12 million. I have no idea. I have no idea what a contract like that would cost, and will you get the production out of it? And Khalil Mack, he's been primarily, I don't know what LA played this year, but he's been primarily a stand-up type defensive end his entire career. This is now a 4-down scheme. Does he make that transition smooth? Like, I don't know. So, like, that's also things that you have to take into account while you're looking at acquiring veteran free agents, right? Like, does he fit the system immediately right away? And that's something that they'll have to look at when looking into the free agent pool of if you're trying to acquire a short-term fix or you're looking to get a long-term fix like they did with Josh Jacobs and McKinney.
Khalil Mack will be 34 by opening day.
Yeah, he ain't coming. That ain't a Goody signing.
Myles Garrett just turned 29 in December. Max Crosby will turn 28 on August 22nd. So if you're interested in a Max Crosby trade as the solution to the Packers' pass rush issues, he is on a 4-year, $94 million contract currently with the Las Vegas Raiders. And if you acquired him, his cap number for 2025 is $27 million. And they do have an out that they could make a move here, and if they wanted to trade him, the Raiders could get a lot out of it. I don't know. Goody was asked if he's willing to trade a premium draft pick for a player, and he said they don't rule anything out, but that player better be a game-changing player because you're not only trading a pick.
Both of those guys are. And if you could pull that off, you do it all day. But I always wonder, why would those teams do that? Maybe because they look at it and say, we ain't winning jack for a while here, and we can max out, pun intended, getting if you can get 2 first-round picks at that point and some it'll be interesting to see. I think the Browns have to take a long, hard look. If they want out, they'll be able to get out. And then it's just a matter of, are you willing to pay that price to bring an impact player in? We saw Xavier McKinney, impact player. There's not enough impact players on this Packers roster to win those close, tough games. That was proven this season. That doesn't mean it will be the same next year, but I'm sure when Goody's talking urgency, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Brian?
I'll just put it this way. Like, before I sign off, you add a Crosby or a Myles Garrett to a defensive line, right? Like, and with the success that Green Bay's defense had and the takeaways and things like that, the minute you add a guy like that, it instantly changes an offensive coordinator's game plan against your defense. It instantly changes how they have to game plan you, because now you have to worry about one guy that you have to block. The minute you have to change your game plan to block one guy, everything changes now. And now you have to worry about where you send your back, where you line up your tight ends, how you shift your protections. Everything changes. And now Halfley can see how they do that in the first series, and now you can start shifting your defense to how they're adjusting to your one guy, and you counter it, and things just open up, and things become a little bit easier because you have that one, and at the same time, your one impact guy, like those two guys, are still winning. They're still beating guys one-on-one, or they're beating double teams, and they're still getting sacks and pressures, but those are impact guys. That's what top level A1 pass rushers do. And that's the premium pass rusher that you see in the NFL.
Brian, enjoy your chilly weather, buddy. We appreciate you. Thanks.
Yep, guys. Have a good one.
That is Brian Bulaga. His insights every Wednesday are the highlight of our week, just like Tausch's highlights usually have a cold Coors Light with Blue Mountains attached.
Indeed, and the Coors Light, it is brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lagered, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it's made to chill. The mountains, they're blue. Doesn't take a lot right now. Put it outside for a couple of seconds. The mountains will be blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. That's why there's always Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The 10 o'clock hour starts right on time in 2 minutes. It's Wilde And Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. No official word just yet, but with unexpected and kind of strange weather in New Orleans tonight, the Milwaukee Bucks game with the New Orleans Pelicans, per some reports, looks to be potentially postponed to a later date. Tip time is set as of now for 7 o'clock, with pregame coverage starting at 6:30 here on Madison's home of the Bucks. But again, we'll stay tuned to see if that's the case. If not, you might get Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania, which was slated to be an exclusive ESPN Madison YouTube stream tonight. Great boys basketball game. Middleton visits Vel Phillips Memorial, including featuring Badgers commit Will Garlock of Middleton. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock. As of now, streaming exclusively on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. College finals from yesterday. 18th-ranked Wisconsin had a 7-game win streak snapped on the road at UCLA 85-83. 10th-ranked Marquette 76-59 winners on the road at Seton Hall.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde And Tausch begins now. So, Tausch, has anything changed your opinion on this?
On what?
On the Jayden Daniels discussion, on where you feel like, where are Jordan Love's elevators? You know, you said an elevator guy, and you know, you love your elevator analogy, which I think is one of the greatest you've ever come up with, and that's saying something. Sure. But you were talking about elevating a team, which
I did.
Yeah. And I don't know that he did that this season significantly. Do you?
I don't think he did. No, and that was the part that I think you can look at from a frustration standpoint as a Packer fan. Jayden Daniels, and why this conversation, it's not clickbaity, and I've noticed a few. I have not been able to do the YouTube stuff, but just on Twitter and some other places, is this a serious conversation? Jayden Daniels has elevated his team. Josh Allen elevated his team. Mm-hmm. You could, obviously Patrick Mahomes, I don't even know what to say about him. It's been a weird year. I'm never picking against him. I learned lessons. Even though I really want Buffalo to win, I'm not picking against him. Lamar Jackson, you have a lot of guys that have done that. And Jordan Love did that last season. He did not this year. I don't know how anybody, the most ardent Packer fans, the biggest homers, I don't know how you could possibly make that argument. And the question is, do you think he still can? And my answer is yes. I do think those injuries affected you. I think this whole prospect of what he needs to do, A, you got to get healthy, but B, I think you have to – I think Matt LaFleur, it's a big offseason for Matt, trying to figure out what is this puzzle going to look like with Josh Jacobs, and now what are you going to do? Is it Devontae? Is there somebody else that you have that you can get as a security blanket for your QB? All of those questions still have to be answered, but this year was not the rocket that I was hoping you built off of last year. At best, you stayed on the platform. You definitely didn't roll off with a bunch of fire blowing up. It was you didn't blow up, but you didn't take off. You sat there. And I don't know. That's not exactly what we were hoping for as Packer fans.
We will see how you are responding to this conversation, in addition to calling it clickbaity. Coming up next, want to remind you, Gruberloff says, you see David all around town. I saw his smiling face on a billboard on our way to Eau Claire for the girls' gymnastics meet over the weekend. He's everywhere, and that's because he and his firm are the best in the business. Gruberloff says, one call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Go to the website, find out all the great causes they support, all your favorite teams that they support, but more importantly, find out about their record of winning. If you have to make that call, and I hope you never have to, but if you do, there's one call to make, 414-276-6666, Gruberloff says. More of our conversation next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey, because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
It's the 2024 model closeout sale at Zimbrick Chevrolet Sun Prairie. Save $10,000 on a 24 Silverado RST Crew Cab 4x4. Save $2,000 on a 24 Chevy Trax LT, and save $12,500 on a 24 Silverado LV with 0.9% APR available. Plus, save $11,500 on a 24 Blazer EV RS. Hurry, these closeout deals won't last for long. Visit Zimbrick Chevrolet Sun Prairie and ZimbrickChevrolet.com for details. Offers end January 31st.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful, energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Mark Tauscher here, introducing Pizza Hut's original stuffed crust and wings bundle. A large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings with 2 dips, and all for just $19.99. Pizza Hut is home to the original stuffed crust pizza, topped and stuffed with over a half pound of delicious, melty cheese. And Pizza Hut's boneless wings are sauced and tossed to perfection and delivered hot directly to you. Order on the app or order online at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law Offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law Offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law Offices make our community a better place.
They are the best.
For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law Offices.
NBA Thursday on ESPN Radio. Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. One of the fiercest rivalries in sports.
Thursday on 100.5 ESPN.
The conversation continues in the YouTube comments, so if you haven't subscribed to either ESPN Milwaukee or ESPN Madison on YouTube, the dwellers, there's a more familial bond in the ESPN Madison. A lot of good conversation there. Not quite as much in the Milwaukee one, so let's elevate our game there in Milwaukee.
Why do you think that is?
Interesting. Jason, you gave Jesse all kinds of grief for calling them dwellers. And now you're basically saying that the ESPN Madison is more, I don't want to put
more
words in your
collegial,
mouth.
friendlier. Getting a lot of, is this a real topic? Let's move on. That kind of thing.
Move on from which part? What are we moving on from?
From the conversation.
The Jaden Daniels. Yeah, I think you. So, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the things you like about doing this, thank you, is there's jumping off points.
Yes.
Or instead of it just being, hey, man, how's Jordan Love looking? That's not as intriguing. Having that comp with someone who, by the way, it's very fair to make the comp because Jordan, it's one more year, and I would say Jayden Daniels has been consistently better. I don't love having to say that, but it's just, that's what I see. It's what I've noticed. And Jordan Love, I think he has all the tools to do what he needs. Now, can you say that Jayden Daniels in the system that Kingsbury brought is more easily and more quarterback friendly? Yes, but why I'm saying that is because that triple option and that read option, with what he brings with his speed and his athleticism, it really strains the defense. And we always say we want easy throws for our quarterback. Washington has given him more easy throws than what Matt LaFleur and
this
the
year
Green Bay
for
Packers
sure
gave. That's what I'm judging it on, Jason.
Don't
you can
you
judge
think
things from 4 years ago, and there's a lot of guys that aren't in the league. A lot of coaches ain't in the league. It's a what have you done for me lately world, brother. And
thank you.
What we've
sister.
seen
back-to-back days with a brother
this last year, it has not been as good. Period. Fin.
Yeah, so my question is, we were talking about Matt LaFleur in glowing terms and how he was scheming guys open. And this goes back to it's never just one thing. How much of Jordan Love's, however you want to view his season, not as good as the previous year, regression, not enough progress, how injury, addled, whatever you want to call it. to me, the biggest challenge is how do you get back to an offense where you and me and Bulaga and everyone who's watching it is going, God, how'd that guy get so wide open? God, there's nobody even, like, remember when he first got here and we were looking and going, oh, my God, they just completed this pass to Devontae, and there's no one, if you're watching on television, there's no one else in the picture, right?
Well, let's bring Devontae back and have
well,
that happen
it's yes. But there were, even as recently as last season, I think there were some catches that Luke Musgrave had where you were like, where is everybody? Like he's like the
Why
Fresh
is Luke
Prince.
Musgrave tripping when he
Well,
caught it?
also true. That would also occur on the same play. But my point is that did you see that as a Packers fan as frequently
No.
this year as you did last year?
The answer is no. You just didn't.
Right.
For whatever reason.
And then that leads to other questions about what does Jordan Love need for the offense to do for him to allow him to be the best version of himself, right?
What
Because
can LaFleur do for you? I mean, that's the question that Jordan Love is asking.
Right. For those who are curious about the poll question, which QB would you rather have leading the Packers? 942 votes in. Jayden Daniels, 55.2. Jordan Love, 44.8. So again, this is more of a conversation than just a simple poll question, but those are your results
Let me tell
to
you
this
something.
point.
If you start adding salary into that, this would be a canyon. It just would.
Tausch, tell us a little bit about Quick Trip.
Do you agree?
Look, I am not going to be prisoner of the moment guy when it comes to the contract. I am going to be consistent on that and say that that is the cost of doing business in today's NFL. And Jayden Daniels, based on what he's done, if he sustains this, will be way more expensive eventually.
Jason, it's not what I asked. I said, would the poll be a canyon if you factored in
No,
salary?
it wouldn't be. Wouldn't be a canyon.
Life's
Get your
busy.
camera fixed, you
Jason's
jackwagon.
full of baloney. Quick Trip gets it. That Jason's full of baloney. And that your life
Baloney
is
for
busy.
sale! Baloney for sale!
They've got
Baloney and coffee and bakery and grab-and-go meals. And, oh, boy, Quick Trip's your go-to. Variety and quality and fast service. Quick Trip's team is all about making your day easier and better. Clean restrooms to fresh groceries and everything in between. Quick Trip's got you covered. Plus, they got ATMs and free air. Free air! But those aren't the only perks. You got Nature's Touch butter, $2.99 a pack. Assorted varieties of bagels, 99 cents or 3 for $2.79. And don't forget about chicken, $6.99 whole roasted chickens on Mondays. Today's Wednesday, I think, right? Or is today Tuesday?
Wednesday.
8-piece fried chicken or chicken tenders on special for $9.99. You can heat up those cold winter days with a bag of soup. That is on special for $6.99 on Tuesdays. Or you can get the Cheese Mountain pizzas for $6.99 or $9.99 with the specialty crust. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of all that Quick Trip has to offer. Order ahead for pickup or curbside delivery. Quick Trip. We'll see you next time.
Uncle Homer joins us next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Tuesday Night Hoops on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania is where you can find the area's best high school basketball games all season long. Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. Catch star recruits, rivalries, and state championship contenders every Tuesday night. It's Tuesday Night Hoops on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on 100.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ordering pizza for game day can be a tough call to make. Do you get a pizza or are you craving some wings? At Pizza Hut, there's only one right answer. Get both. Introducing Pizza Hut's original stuffed crust and wings bundle. Get a large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings with 2 sauces for only $19.99. An unbeatable value that can feed the whole crew. Perfect for game days, family nights, or any gathering. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Thursday, we continue to get you ready for the conference championships in the NFL, as well as look ahead to a huge weekend in the NBA. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. You're making love or starting the schoolyard fight. Make sure you do it right. Make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Drive a truck, fix a car, dig a ditch or you play guitar. Build a house, read a book when it's time to party or time to cook. Make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right.
Over Seton Hall, not that we're going to talk about it because he doesn't think we should. It is the voice of Marquette men's basketball, the host of the Homer Hour, And the co-host of God Talk, My Faith with Homer and Pip. It is Steve the Homer. True Homer, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. I'm in a bit of a quandary.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Quandary.
Well,
Why?
I made my greatest prediction ever when I said Matt LaFleur was Steve Mariucci. And for
So far,
LaFleur's
so good.
5 years, literally identical, almost exactly the same. But the 49ers fired Mariucci after 5 years. So LaFleur is going into an area that Mariucci never had. So I'm not sure what to do now. I mean, I know my prediction can't be as good. And I don't have. I gotta come up with something else.
What are you thinking?
So I know.
What are you thinking? Your mind's always working.
What I'm thinking is they're still the same. They're good, but not good enough. And it's hard to be in that situation. Teams have been like, yeah, the Packers are going to make the playoffs, but there's nothing special. Field tilter on the Green Bay Packers team unless someone does it. Now, it could be Jordan Love. It could be LaFleur. It could be Goody. They're all good, but not good enough. And who's on the team that's a field tilter? And they brought in two very good players last year. So the best hope is really the team statistically was very close to 2009, top 10 offense and defense, and then got even better defensively in 10. But I don't think they have. They don't have Aaron Rodgers. They don't have Charles Woodson. They don't have. Was it Collins on the team then too?
No, they have Charles Woodson. I was told last year they were going to have Charles Woodson, and that prediction isn't as dumb as I thought it was when I first heard it.
No, come on. That's the problem. He's good, but not that good.
Jason,
who's the
you wrote the article
on the team? What?
Jason, is he that good?
I never said he was as good as a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
Don't be beeping
I'm with
here.
you, Jason.
I'm
with you, Jason. No, there's no way Jason said that. There's no way.
He compared him to Charles Woodson. The impact he did.
I'll have to look.
Jason, did you not? I mean, I could check the State Journal archives and pull it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Or I could just trust you.
Yeah,
Tell
you
me
do
what
that.
you said.
No, you do that. So Homer,
I'm not going to.
I didn't think so.
The
Check the tape.
impact is
Check
not
the archives.
the same in terms of leadership. Yes, that's the thing. Yes, he has done that, but you got to tilt the field. Who tilts the field on this team, or will do it next year? I mean, it's possible. It's not like they're going to be horrible. They're making the playoffs. They're going to be, but not good enough, as we know, in terms of what it takes to be a player. And be one of the elite.
So to prevent him from being Steve Mariucci, what do the Green Bay Packers have to do to be that team? Jordan Love has to play at a higher level than he is. If you watched the playoffs to this point, the teams, this is going to be brilliant, brace yourself, the teams whose quarterbacks played well advanced, and the teams whose quarterbacks made mistakes and turned the ball over didn't. So Jordan Love obviously has to play at a much higher level for them to be a Super Bowl championship team. Duh. What else has to?
And the defenses have also been better. I think we need to emphasize the defense.
Now,
what?
I got bad news for you, Jason. I just went to, now that I have access to Grok and Grok 2.0.
Oh, no.
I just point blank asked, did Jason Wilde compare Charles Woodson and Xavier McKinney? And the answer came back like that. Yes, Jason Wilde did compare Charles Woodson and Xavier McKinney. In an article published on September 28th, Wilde drew comparisons between the two, discussed how Xavier McKinney possesses some of the best qualities of Charles Woodson. He highlighted his leadership and his abilities to understand and anticipate offensive plays, much like Woodson was known during his playing days with the G&G. Thank you, Grok, for proving my point. Next.
I'm sorry, did Grok have the part where I compared him as a talent to being as good as a Pro Football Hall of Famer? Because that was the debate, Grocky.
That's what Grok just said, yeah.
That's not. I didn't hear anything. Did you forget a paragraph from Grok?
I didn't, no. You made some comparisons, but not in terms of him being that level of player on the field. That's the fact. We all know that.
We love AI.
But it's a good job, Tausch.
He didn't do anything other than ask Grok.
Right. The other thing I want to say is I want to be on record, and I could be wrong on this. This garbage about sense of urgency. Please understand, this is Goody telling the players and everybody on the team, I've built the team good enough. Now you got to go out and do it. He's not going out and making some big deal. He never has. First of all, he doesn't trade. Second of all, he'll go free agency. But last year he got 2 incredibly good moves because the teams he was dealing with were idiots. And so I'm expecting the urgency he's speaking of is looking at those players and say, now go get the job done. You're good enough to get it done. Now go do it. Not that he needs to dramatically improve the team. I don't think he believes that for 1 second.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And I don't think he's going to do anything dramatic because of that.
I am curious what he truly believes about his front four and his pass rush. Because if he
he believes in him. Hell yes. I drafted him. Of course. I'll be Goody for you. Come on. Give him time. You didn't believe in Gary after what did he look like after a year or two? Huh?
Yeah, I didn't believe in him, and now I'm questioning again whether I believe in him.
Well, but could you check his stats, sir? I believe the number of sacks in his performance increased dramatically from what you saw in the first couple of years where Van Ness is right now. Would that be accurate, sir?
Yeah, he played a lot less than Van Ness did.
Okay, well.
So that's got to be factored in as well.
I haven't checked the percentage of how much less he played, things like that, but that's true. That I'll give you that much. But I mean, anyone that doesn't believe or thinks that Goody has lost faith in his players is wrong in a big way. This is about them performing to the level that he knows they're capable of, because that's why he's got them on the team. That's what this is about. But
So if you're saying that Goody believes he's got the players to be a Super Bowl team, then what else do you think has to happen?
Well,
besides
he'll
Jordan
work on
Love elevating his game.
Elvis' game. I'm sure he'll add. He's going to need a cornerback as Lazar's because Jair's gone, and I think he certainly would feel like he could use a wide receiver. All the things people have said, but I'm saying don't expect anything huge. His comment was not about what needs to be added. It was about what's here and the level they need to perform. So that, the discussion of the players that you brought up, I mean, Devontae Adams would seem to me as a possibility because he would fit kind of like the last two, and they would
they know him, and
they
know
deal.
what he's about and all that stuff.
Right. And they're not trading for him.
No.
He gets released, and he's a free agent. Right.
Although now Aaron Glenn is getting that job, there's reports that it might be keeping old 12 around if he wants to stick around.
I would.
I would too.
Wouldn't you? Yeah.
You're taking that big old cap hit. Yeah, if he wants to play, I would keep him around for another year. Why not? Keep Devontae, build off of it, draft a young guy, let it rip. Right?
Yeah.
Keep
I'm with
Nathaniel
you on that.
Hackett.
What is his problem?
That's gonna happen.
Okay,
Who's
like
Nathaniel
Rodgers
Hackett?
is usually a pretty good judge of talent, or did you just want somebody to suck up to him? Like, the guy's really bad, isn't he? I mean, hasn't he failed at everything in every place he's been?
Everywhere except for in Green Bay during his time as the non-play calling offensive coordinator for the Packers.
Right.
He was bad in Buffalo.
Right.
He was obviously, things did not go well in Denver or in New York. So, yeah, I don't have a good answer for you, but
Well, proving that I, as I stated, could have been Rodgers' quarterback coach, I could clearly have done as well as he's done. Horribly, ever since, right? I mean, it reaffirms my position.
you'd be worse, but it wouldn't be by the margin that you'd like it to be.
Okay, I'll live with that.
All right, Homer. There's another aspect of this that I'm curious about, and you mentioned the urgency thing and what Goody had said. The other half of that quote is, as you are pointing out, of what he believes about this roster, that this team is ready to compete for championships.
Yeah, right.
Do you think he's right?
No, but that's the way GMs are. I mean, there's no evidence to believe that he's right. I mean, we're like comparing him to, Ron Wolf, and Ted Thompson really would probably have been closer to. I mean, what did Ted Thompson do before he took over for Wolf? I guess he did
Well,
okay.
I mean, took over for Sherman, but yes.
Correct.
Well,
no, I don't. But it's not, it's not like it's crazy stuff. Like, he could do it. I mean, but to me, there's just no evidence of it. And so that's the dilemma of good, but not good enough. Right? I mean, that.
Yeah, I would just say this, and Tausch, we'll move forward here in a minute, but I do agree with you on one point, and that is that your Mariucci comparison, as of right now, looks exactly on point.
Right. Wow. The problem is the comparison is over because there's no sixth year to compare the two. They moved on from Mariucci, and I would say that it was not a wise move. The benefit the Packers have will be that they will not move on. The 49ers brought in, I think, Erickson or somebody. They would have been better off to keep Mariucci. Now, he failed terribly in Detroit. But so the Packers have, it would appear, made the wiser move by staying with him and seeing if he can prove me wrong.
Tausch, I don't feel like that's a controversial position. Like, they both won a lot of games. Mooch went to an NFC Championship game, lost it to the Packers.
Yeah, at the very beginning.
I didn't say it was controversial.
Year,
anytime you agree with Homer, I'm a little taken back.
That's controversial. Yeah, that is controversial.
It does not happen often, that's for sure. All right, Homer, you got God Talk to record again today?
We're working on God Talk. There are so many players now. Like, they're saying one of the reasons that Ohio State won is because of Jesus Christ, that they all – I didn't know that they were faithful, but we've had all these players. The Notre Dame quarterback, by the way, the public part of expressing your faith in a very elevated manner has become almost the norm now. And so that's great. So, yeah, I got to work 24/7 to line these people up. Everybody clearly wants to be a part of my faith.
Well,
good. Except for Tausch. Tausch hasn't changed.
How does God choose which team to root for when there's a lot of believers on both teams?
Are you asking my personal opinion?
I am, yeah. Mm-hmm. You're the theologian.
Well, no, I'm not, but no, he doesn't pick a team at all. It makes people feel better about themselves. We are all at our best when we're a part of something that we believe is bigger than we are. That starts with a faith and can go on to a team. Coaches have now used that. So it makes teams play better. It makes them think better. But no, I do not believe, other than the Packers, of course, that God has ever selected one team. You know the great story about, I think it was John Elway, that he said he went to heaven and he saw this huge house. And he saw this huge Denver Bronco house, and he says, "Wow, God, thanks. That's where it's going to be when I'm here forever." And he looks over and he goes, "That Packer house, that's even bigger." And he says, "God, what's the deal? Why does Brett Favre have a bigger house than me?" God goes, "That's not Brett Favre's house. That's my house." Oh, yeah. Isn't that good?
Thanks, Homer.
Bye.
Am I the only one who's lost?
What was the?
I don't know.
I feel like God would have been rooting for Notre Dame.
Well, you would think. I do not want to get into theological
I was rooting for Notre Dame. I think most people were rooting for Notre Dame. Between the two.
Not our buddy Wally from the Damn Sports Show, though. He made it very clear his allegiance.
Well, yeah, like if he's an Ohio State, he's an Ohio guy. Like if you're not an Ohio guy, you're rooting for Notre Dame in that game the other night.
One would think. All right, that's we appreciate Homer stopping by and leaving us with that John Elway goes to heaven joke, I think. We leave you to end the 10 o'clock hour, reminding you that if you want to get caught up on every Bucs game, and I think, did I see this right, that their game in New Orleans has been postponed per our friend Justin Garcia, our Bucs buddy?
Because of 3 inches of snow?
Snowed out.
JG has shared that information. It has not been shared officially by either team or the NBA yet, so we're still waiting on official confirmation, but Justin Garcia, the first to report that tonight's game has been postponed in New Orleans.
Well, that means the Bucks in 6 recap of tonight's game is going to be shorter than 6 minutes because there will be no game to recap. But from the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, get an in-depth recap of every Bucks game that actually gets played in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. If you missed any of the game or you just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Dame, and catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
The Milwaukee Bucks, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Great bounce pass to Giannis, and he sends it down with a reverse jam.
Tonight on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhafels. Get a new Tempur-Pedic mattress for just $52 per month with Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, you get $300 in Steinhafels cash only at Steinhafels. The college football season officially in the books. While the crown goes to the Big Ten, Mark Tauscher sees some holes regarding college football's future. From NIL, transfer portal, and growing conferences, here's what he had to say on Tuesday's edition of Wilde And Tausch.
The only way to actually do it is to say, we're going to get this thing so it's going to be a level playing field. And then it comes down to coaching, organization, and developing players. It just feels like we are so far away from that I don't know what that formula is going to be.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
This is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. I'm reaching out with a message that's close to my heart. Devastating fires have ravaged the Los Angeles area, leaving families displaced, homes destroyed, and the community in need of help. Right now, you have the power to make a real difference. Your donation, big or small, can provide food, shelter, supplies, and much-needed support for those affected by the fires. If you are able to, please help those affected by the California wildfires and donate at www.lafoodbank.org/fire.
We shopped at Chalmers because my husband wanted to get me a larger diamond in my engagement ring.
The folks at Chalmers said, well, we could just make it like this and we could do these things. Really just basically decided that there wasn't any place else we wanted to shop.
But not only did they create this new engagement ring for me with this gorgeous center stone, they also rehabbed this other ring, and I am beyond pleased.
Her favorite thing to do now is to walk around and show her hands and have people comment on it.
Hey, it's Bobby Portis, and I love playing basketball in Milwaukee. When I drive down the lane, I move fast and make sudden moves to drive to the hoop and score. But when I'm behind the wheel in the driving lane, I control my drive. I don't speed or make sudden movements. Speeding and reckless driving are the leading causes of traffic injuries and deaths in Wisconsin. Do what I do. Control your drive. Don't speed. Don't be reckless. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Wisconsin DOT.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where the number 7 just got luckier. You already know how much I love Pizza Hut, but have you heard about Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu? Enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites like pizza, boneless wings, melts, cheese sticks, and more for just $7 each when you buy 2 or more. With the $7 Deal Lovers menu, you don't have to choose between great taste and great value. You can have them both. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com. The $7 Deal Lovers menu, only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison wants you to start the year behind the wheel of a brand new ride in our Road to the Motherlode giveaway. On Friday, January 31st, there are lots of opportunities for you to strike gold. 3 winners will be chosen every half hour from 6 p.m. until 9:30, with each taking home a cash prize between $500 and $2,500. Then at 10 o'clock, one grand prize winner will receive our largest single prize ever, a $50,000 vehicle certificate. And it's only at
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick,
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
He's got a Chevrolet that don't always run, and the radio never turns down. He's got a
Ben Johnson has arrived. Watching a video from our buddy Sylvie as they get ready for the start of his news conference. You know who else is in attendance besides Sylvie? Caleb Williams.
Waddle.
Well, I don't know if I see Waddle in here. See a lot of the Chicago glitterati of the media.
Caleb Williams is going to the press conference?
He's in the front row. I must be in the front row.
Is that weird?
I don't know. But he's there. And he's not the only player. There's a few other players as well. Things are getting interesting.
Is he going to be good?
Let's start the 11 o'clock hour there. Is the Ben Johnson hire scare you as a Packers fan? Since he is being introduced today as it becomes, it's already official, but he will be taking questions from the Chicago media here momentarily. Tausch, you will get the first chance to answer that question after you tell us about Fortria and we kick off the 11 o'clock hour.
Well, if you got to pay for a new head coach and you need a little extra spending cash, head over to Fortria. They'll get you a little cash. Healthy adults, ages 18 to 60, BMI of 18 to 32. Study is 2 stays, 15 nights, 7 follow-ups, $13,820 for your time and participation. Head over to FortriaClinicalTrials.com. That's Fortria, Fortrea, clinicaltrials.com.
The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, just like Ben Johnson's press conference is underway. It's Wilde And Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania Boys Basketball tonight, featuring a Wisconsin Badgers commit, Will Garlock, and the Middleton Cardinals visit Vel Phillips Memorial. Great game tonight in the Big 8 Conference. Tip time set just after 7 o'clock. That's when our pregame coverage starts, streaming exclusively on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. And if the Bucks are postponed in New Orleans, you'll hear that game tonight here on 100.5 ESPN. As of now, it's still the Bucks visiting the Pelicans. Tip time at 7 o'clock. Pregame coverage starts at 6:30. Justin Garcia of the Bucks Radio Network sharing on social media about an hour ago that he's hearing tonight's game will be postponed due to inclement weather in New Orleans. No official word from the Bucks, Pelicans, or the NBA if that is in fact the case just yet for tonight's game. But again, sounds like Bucks Pelicans will likely be postponed due to weather tonight down in New Orleans. College basketball, a couple of finals from last night for the state's top 25 ranked teams. 18th ranked Wisconsin on the road at UCLA falls 85-83, snapping a 7-game winning streak. 10th ranked Marquette 76-59 winners at Seton Hall.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
O'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, which will include Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia. Begins now. Just as the Ben Johnson era officially begins in Chicago, Tausch will save these rumors about Aaron Glenn wanting to keep Aaron Rodgers until Aaron Glenn is announced as the Jets quarterback, as the Jets coach. I am curious, though, as a Packers fan, should people be worried that the Chicago Bears are hiring Ben Johnson, or is he just going to be the latest, not so greatest coach in Bears history?
I think the odds would tell you it's going to be a rinse, lather, repeat deal. Their ownership is the same. Their GM's the same. The president is the same. They have a lot of things that they're dealing with. And Ben Johnson, I think I've seen this movie a bunch where the hotshot offensive coordinator, guru play caller, goes and takes over a program. Sean McVay did it. Kyle Shanahan did it. They've had
Mike
a lot of
Holmgren
success.
did it.
So
Matt
I think
LaFleur
you could say, I think the Bears, if I'm a Bears fan, I'm excited about what this could be because it's not going to get any worse than what it just was. It's not going to get worse. Now, who they hire as the D coordinator and all of that's going to be big, and I would think you'd want somebody that's going to be a veteran to help. I don't know if Ben Johnson is going to be a great leader. The Detroit Lions obviously felt really strongly about letting him have complete reign of their offense, and they were fantastic with a quarterback that I think is good, not great. So if you can unlock Caleb Williams and get things figured out on the line of scrimmage, I think the Bears could do some things. But would I bank on that? I will, as I did last year with a couple of my buddies. I will have no problem, and I already told them, if you guys want to have like a lunch, something on the Bears making the playoffs, I feel fairly confident. I would say that they won't again. So the thing that I found interesting, and I don't remember who I heard this from, but I want to pull a Windy here. It's a shame it's only AOT today because I got a DOT special, and I'm wondering if I should wait to do my Windy. I got
Department of Transportation?
I got my cup full of pencils here. What's that?
The Department of Transportation, the DOT?
Love the DOT.
Digital only Tausch.
Oh.
It stands for.
Well, you're never digital only, Tausch. We're always still on the radio.
But my mind sometimes reads any hoot. You guys get bogged down in the craziest things.
Yeah, we do.
Do you find it interesting? And I'm just for a fact.
Do we have to
I know
picture
this
you
is
doing
radio.
the finger thing?
I'm leaning back in my chair. I have two pencils that are, width apart, and I'm shaking them like Windy. Do you find it interesting that the hottest coordinator and was wanted by every team that had an opening in supposedly the toughest division in football history with 2 teams with 14 wins and all the other stuff. Do you find it interesting he wasn't remotely scared of staying in the division with the only team that stunk and didn't make the playoffs? Does anybody else find that interesting?
Wait, can you? I'm sorry. I don't understand the question.
I find it interesting in the fact, if you really feel that way, that this division is loaded and stacked and you got quarterbacks and all this, you would probably say maybe there's a spot that has maybe the Raiders that would bring a GM that I align with, not Ryan Poles. And I know those two are old teammates and et cetera. But don't you find it interesting, and maybe Ben Johnson doesn't view the NFC North as some juggernaut division, but looks at it as more of a overpriced asset that you can get in on and handle earlier than everybody else? Don't you think so?
Or maybe he thinks the quarterback's really good and he's going to be the guy that every coach thinks they're the guy, right? Like the Bears, regardless of how long they've been wandering in the wilderness like Moses and his crew, they're still a signature NFL franchise. And if you can resurrect them and win a Super Bowl for the first time since the Super Bowl shuffling 85 Bears, you'll be a god. So maybe he gets that part of it too, right? Like, it's not just...
I honestly think it's more of, it could be, it's obviously he's going to be excited to work with Caleb Williams. But I'm telling you, you look at it, and if you think you have Pat Mahomes and Joe Burrow and the Juggernaut boys, you're not going to willy-nilly just say, sign me up, coach. You would probably look at it and say, Jacksonville, that wouldn't be bad. That division stinks. I can go down there and, crush skulls and take names. The fact that he just jumped at this and said, you know what, Detroit, their window and best days are probably behind them, especially since I'm leaving. Minnesota doesn't even know what they're going to do with their quarterback. And maybe Green Bay and all that, we've kind of had their number. So maybe this juggernaut of a division that everybody else, myself included, looked at, it seems to me that Ben Johnson is saying, I'm not buying that hype. We're going to go in here and crush some skulls.
All right. Could you stop with the skull crushing?
I'm trying to paint a picture, brother.
First
I'm not
of all,
on Digi.
First of all,
so I got to
think
paint a
he's
picture.
only got 7 more analogies to go today.
I think it's like the assistant principal in the Breakfast Club, and he says, I'm cracking skulls, not crushing them. Secondly,
listen, bro, I'm not sitting here
me.
regurgitating
Don't
80s movies quotes.
Stop
bro.
me.
You do that all the time, actually.
Stop. I am not regurgitating today. This is you guys don't think this is an interesting? Like, I really looking at it like I'm windy in this. Like something is. Ben Johnson knows something, or at least he thinks something nobody else is thinking.
I think he sees a really. Are you okay over there? Did you fall down in the studio?
I was sitting. I stood up, and I realized I was putting myself on camera.
God, I miss the digi part.
I bet you do.
I'm missing this.
I think what Ben Johnson is
flopping around like a fish.
I think what Ben Johnson is realizing is, wow, I'm rich now. I'm the 7th highest paid head coach in the NFL, and I haven't even coached a game yet. This is easy.
Jesse,
and there's Packers fans saying that I'm better than Matt LaFleur already.
Yeah, like that's what he's thinking.
He would have commanded that salary. Every team would have paid him that. Why would he pick the Bears? Why would he pick the hardest division in the history of football?
Now wait a minute.
According to most.
According
just
to
look at
whom?
It. Jason, we had this discussion about 3 weeks ago.
Wrong. They went 0-3 in the
records
playoffs.
are what they are.
Yeah,
the records are what they are.
0-3 in the playoffs. It's a record.
I guess you guys just don't look at things in a 3D way, and that's okay. You guys are just simply looking at it saying, "Oh, you like the Bears."
Are you going to insult us today?
I'm not insulting you. I'm just pointing out There's no insult me being
crush your skull.
That is how you're projecting it. That's not how I'm thinking.
There's no way that Ben Johnson interviewed for the Jaguars job and was like, wow, this division's harder to win than the NFC North, but I'm going to take that job. I think the one argument you can make is Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in place for all the teams that had head coach openings this offseason. Trevor Lawrence is probably the other option, and because there's more film on him and he hasn't delivered, I think you could easily say Caleb Williams has the highest ceiling of all the quarterbacks who are in place for teams that were hiring head coaches this offseason. So for an offensive mind who's scheming up an offense, that's what you would want.
Yeah. I think Ben Johnson is looking at this saying there is a lot of plump, juicy fruit sitting there that everybody else thinks is way up in the top of that tree, and I'm just going to pluck this and eat it. That's what I think he's thinking.
Okay, what I think he's thinking, he had opportunities last year, right? He
did.
If I'm misunderstanding this, please tell me, but he could have had the Seahawks job. He could have had the Commanders job. Dan Quinn was the last coach hired. And he pulled himself out of both those job openings to stay as the offensive coordinator for another year with the Lions. Now, I would caution this, because just because you were the hottest offensive coordinator doesn't mean you'll automatically have success, nor does the fact that you were the coordinator of the worst offense in football mean you're going to suck as a head coach. Because one Michael John McCarthy presided over the worst offense in football in 2005, and then he became the Packers head coach, took your 2007 team to an NFC championship game, then took your 2010 team to a Super Bowl title. At the same time, Mike Holmgren was the hottest he was Ben Johnson in 1992, right? Everybody wanted Mike Holmgren, and the Packers got him, and he became a Super Bowl championship coach and soon to be Pro Football Hall of Famer. So I don't know what to tell you other than who is the guy? Is he the guy or is he not the guy? I could say this: when you hire Mark Trestman out of the Canadian Football League, although he did have NFL experience, chances are it's going to be tough for him to be the guy. And he wasn't the guy, as is many of these other Bears coaches. But if I were a Packers fan, and I have watched what that offense did in Detroit, and he was the guy who was running it and calling it and designing it, because Dan Campbell was not the play caller on either side of the ball. I'm looking at the Bears going, if they got this right, which they haven't for a long time, but even a broken clock is right twice a day, I'm going to be a little nervous. That's how I would feel. I think he's going to help their quarterback tremendously after they put the first overall pick in a less than desirable situation with how they chose to go about keeping their staff intact. So they've fired offensive coordinator after offensive coordinator down there. They've fired head coaches. If they got this right, things are going to get really interesting in Packers Bears, and I am here for it. I hope it's true, because I have on the record saying I want Caleb versus Jordan for the next decade to be must-watch football, just like when Patrick Mahomes plays Josh Allen, or just like when Peyton Manning played Tom Brady. That's what I want as a storyteller. We'll see if it happens. I'm curious if people are nervous about Ben Johnson being hired by the Bears. I don't get the sense they are. I think Packers fans they're not worried about the Bears until they actually literally have to be. And not even them beating them in the season finale was enough to make Packers fans view the Bears and their team differently. Would you agree or disagree?
I legit think that this move has actually should make Packer fans happy for a couple of reasons. He's unproven as a head coach, but mainly because you have just swiped a leg on a 4-legged chair from the Detroit Lions. They're now a 3-legged operation. Now, can they solder a leg back on there and get that chair back up plopped? Not going to be as strong.
Plopped?
I ain't going to feel comfortable sitting on that chair. I'll tell you that.
Neither is that chair.
I would bet that the Detroit Lions, now especially if they lose Aaron Glenn, all of a sudden the Lions went from everybody's darling to we don't know what system and how they're going to even approach it because Dan Campbell.
Nap.
Yeah.
To be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
That is frank.
Why are you always trying to stir stuff up,
you didn't want to buy
Jason?
it. He ain't looking at this NFC North like the juggernaut you two are. I can tell you that right now.
Who said we were looking at it as the juggernaut? Are you projecting again?
Aren't you the one looking? We were saying they went 0-3 in the playoffs.
I remember not so distant time.
Check the tape.
Yeah, we can, right along with you. With you trying to backtrack from your Xavier McKinney, Charles Woodson commentary. You did, Jason. You did. I have had no problem saying that I thought that the NFC North was a juggernaut division. I'm telling you, Ben Johnson didn't see it that way. Or he didn't take that job. And then you don't come out and say, oh, I like beating up on Matty Ice. Game on, baby. I'm all in. I love it. Bring it on. This is like Mike Tice painting his house. Let's go. I love it. The more the merrier. Bring it.
The Bucks have officially announced that
Let's
tonight's
see
game
you without
against the
Ahmad
Pelicans
St.
has been
Brown
canceled.
and Penny Sewell
Postponed.
and Glasgow, all those guys. Let's see you without Decker.
Glasgow?
Let's see how that offense runs. Huh?
Who is Glasgow?
Glasgow, that's center. Ragnow.
Frank Ragnow?
Ragnow. Oh, yeah, because you know everybody's name. You can't even name me 5 Lions. I'm sitting here naming you the whole O-line, and I get a Glasgow and a Ragnow go. My bad, Jason. But I'm telling you, Ben, let's see how you run this offense.
They have an Edinburgh online, too?
Let's see how this offense runs when you don't have all pros up front. Let's take a look. Maybe it'll still be boy wonder. I love this because this is going to really irritate Packer fans, and I am all for it. I want this to be a big boy rivalry. Bears are not there, but it sounds like old boy's ready to take this thing on and run with it.
All right, well, we'll have that audio for you from Ben Johnson.
Haven't all the Bears coach said that at different points at introductory press conferences?
None of them have been able to say that they've beaten the Packers head coach.
That's true. Lovie Smith got up there and said, like, number one priority is beat the Packers, right? That's essentially what he said when he took the job.
He did, yeah.
I
beat
thought
us a couple times, too.
I thought some of those other guys, when they've hired, they all...
No, they painted a house. I know Tice was a house painter. Should have used Holman Lindsay paints.
But could he drive a 3-out-of-tree stick shift? Again, just from the NBA, Bucks Pelicans has been postponed due to the snowstorm.
The big newsbreaker, Shefty Garcia up there. Shefty Garcia.
Let's play some trivia. It is Wednesday. That means it's Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia. Ben Johnson is in Chicago being introduced to the media facing Q&A.
Smug Johnson, am I
right? He's definitely not afraid of creating some headlines. And it worked for Lovie Smith. I mean, Lovie Smith also took the Bears to a Super Bowl, if I recall correctly.
He did.
With Rex Grossman as his quarterback.
Should have never fired him. In my opinion.
I would tend to agree, and I would think most Bears fans would agree as well. All right, time for trivia. Let's take caller 12. Caller 12, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 12 for Wilde And Tausch trivia. Tausch, before we get to that, why don't you tell us about American Family Insurance?
Calling all Badgers. American Family Insurance wants you and a friend to experience the best Badgers Day event ever at a Wisconsin home game of your choice for the 2025 season. With pregame field access, incredible seats at Camp Randall, and great Badgers swag, American Family Insurance has you covered. Go to amfam.com/Badgers to enter the Badgers Best Day Ever sweepstakes. This sweepstake is open to legal residents of our insured 19 states who are age 18 or older as of September 27th of 2024. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Trivia's next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Model year closeout specials are going on now at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Mark Toscher here, encouraging you to log on to ZimbrickChevrolet.com to check out all the 2024 model year closeout specials. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, now is the perfect time to take advantage of some great year-end offers. It's also the time of the year where cold weather can impact your vehicle's performance. A few helpful tips from the service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet. If your battery is 5 years old or more, consider changing it right now. Don't wait to get stranded. Don't ignore your tires. When it snows, you know how important it is for your tires to have great traction on the slippery roads. And don't forget your windshield wipers. Don't set yourself up for a bad situation by looking through streaks and smears. Just stop by Zimbrick Chevrolet. They can replace your wiper blades. Just stop by Zimbrick Chevrolet so they can replace your wiper blades. Keep your vehicle ready for winter driving. Book an appointment with the service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet right now at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie. The name you can trust.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick,
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
This is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. I'm reaching out with a message that's close to my heart. Devastating fires have ravaged the Los Angeles area, leaving families displaced, homes destroyed, and the community in need of help. Right now, you have the power to make a real difference. Your donation, big or small, can provide food, shelter, supplies, and much-needed support for those affected by the fires. If you are able to, please help those affected by the California wildfires and donate at www.lafoodbank.org/fire.
And that was my mindset all year. Involve Giannis every single day.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
There've never been another person like me.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
So why would I try to change?
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
I just got to involve Giannis.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
There've never been another Giannis throughout the history of the game.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Wilde And Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Jason, if you are so intrigued by this ass clown, go to Chicago and work. Wow, that seems aggressive.
Jeez. Somebody's mad. Is that a YouTuber or is that somebody on
somebody
Twitter?
say clown?
No, that's Mike on Twitter. GB Mike.
I just saw that clip. That was super awkward.
I did hear out in the office, Alex Gravatt, who hosts the Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez, said he saw the video of the clip, and he said it's like cringy, and it makes him feel more confident that Ben Johnson's going to be a miss.
Well, it doesn't fit, and he's kind of pausing and waiting for some laughter or a, oh my God, I can't believe he said it, and it was nothing.
We'll have that during Whoa Nelly. Time now for trivia. Let's welcome in our contestant. It is Jeff in Monroe. Jeff, good morning. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We are great, and we're funnier than Ben Johnson.
Why does it seem like... Do we ever have a coach get up there and say, well, we're going to beat them Bears? Or, do we ever have that? And it seems like that's all... And that's why when Packer fans are saying, blank the Bears... It's just not where we're at as fans, and it's just funny, the obsession. It's an obsession.
So the question I would have is, were Packers fans obsessed with the Bears back when the shoe was on the other foot, and the Bears were so good and the Packers weren't?
I don't think so. I think we were just bad.
We didn't have social media to share that.
Bears. Yeah, well, we obviously wanted to beat the Bears, and they kind of ran through us, but... I guess you're right. It's just a different landscape. I can't give you a fair answer.
Thank you. Let's see if Jeff can give us the correct answers to Wilde And Tausch Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia. Jeff, are you ready for question 1?
I am.
All right, here it is. A large portion of potatoes for sale production in Wisconsin takes place in the central part of the state in what Tausch often refers to as the Potato Corridor. This part of the state is great for potato production due to a large concentration of which of these materials in the soil? Is it sand, clay, or quick trip fried chicken? That's as bad as Ben Johnson's jokes.
I'm not an agronomist, so I'm going to have to go with sand.
Bingo. 1 for 1.
Not an easy question there.
No.
Up North Joe did write these. I don't know if we clarified that or not.
I kind of sensed
that's what I
that
thought.
Yeah. It does not, nowhere on here does it say that. So did you just plagiarize them?
Well,
and then decide to admit when the first question was hard that it wasn't yours?
On the show sheet, I did say Wisconsin Geography.
Not on the separate email, which is what I'm reading from.
The bonus track, which is only for Jason. Right?
All right, question 2, Jeff, is this. In Up North Joe, Wisconsin Geography Trivia. With the most up-to-date information as of 2023, Wisconsin ranked 3rd in the nation in overall potato production. Idaho ranked 1st. Which state ranked 2nd? Was it Kansas, Washington, or North Dakota?
Let's say Washington.
Close to Idaho. Tausch, agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree.
2 for 2. Question 3, Jeff. Latitudinally, which of these counties is the northernmost in the state? Is it Marinette County, Bayfield County, or Ashland County?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think they're all pretty far north.
Yeah,
They're all pretty tough, too.
Yeah.
Let's say Ashland.
Tausch?
I'm going to agree with Jeff.
You shouldn't have. Bayfield, apparently, per Up North Joe.
Oh.
Bayfield County.
I'll have to get my map out here. Check it.
The San Francisco of Wisconsin.
Get that out.
is true.
We'll
That's what I
confirm. We'll fact check Up North Joe, who was East Troy Joe over the weekend, while Jesse was Up North Jesse. All right, Jeff. For now, anyway, you got 2 out of 3. That means you got 3 of the possible 4 entries into Friday's drawing. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
Yeah, and just let me say, other people have said this week, but the show has been really good. So, love you guys.
All right, love you guys.
Dang.
Okay, then.
That's awesome.
Maybe Tausch should be radio-only Tausch.
I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe we need to just scrap me from the video.
We got back to our roots.
I feel lost, and I have to so I hate to do this. I'm going to be AOT.
Wow.
AOT. Yeah.
Oh, snap.
I prefer ROT. Radio only, Tausch.
A reminder to everyone congratulating us and saying thanks for a great football season. We do still have shows in the offseason.
Yeah. Do we?
Just like Tausch loves to play Prize Picks, whether it's in the football season or not.
Indeed, Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. And we got the big game. Hopefully I don't butcher this. I know I'm always nervous with this, but the big game coming up. You got all the fun stuff happening. Jayden Daniels, 0.5 yards. Not freebie, but 0.5 yards passing. I like it. I'm going to go more on that. If you want to go less, great. I'm going to go more, and then I get to look at some of the other stuff. Jalen Hurts, 16 completions. That's that number. It's going to be tricky. Who knows how it's all going to play out, but that's what's fun. Use those sports opinions and turn it into real cash. Prize Picks, the best way to win real money this football season. And it's simple. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn those opinions into real money. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app. Use code WI to get that $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Run your game. Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and I am excited. I'm going on a cruise next week. First time in my life, and I'm going to feel confident. I'm going to feel great when we're on that boat, and it's all thanks to the team at Madison Weight Loss. I experienced a 60-day weight loss journey last year from the middle of August to the middle of October. Just 60 days, I was able to drop 40 pounds of unnecessary, unwanted fat, and all I had to do was change my diet. No injections, no surgeries, no intense workout regimens. All it was changing what I eat, and I can't believe that I saw the benefits then. I'm still seeing the benefits now. It's all thanks to the expert coaching and guidance from Madison Weight Loss. As we got to the turn of the new year, you may have already tried and failed with a weight loss program at the first few weeks of this year. But you know what? Get in touch with Madison Weight Loss. They'll help you out. They'll get you back on track, and you'll see the best results you've ever seen trying to lose weight and shed some of that unnecessary, unwanted fat, just like I did last year. Contact the team. Schedule a free consultation, in person or virtual, at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Check it out. Madison Weight Loss. Results may vary.
We ask and you answer. Follow at Jim Matt Molly on X to vote and poll questions every day. Presented by Siding Unlimited, your local home improvement pros. Trust Siding Unlimited with all your home remodeling needs.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is, I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott and Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. The holiday season may be over, but that means Valentine's Day is approaching. It doesn't matter the occasion, birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, or if you're in the doghouse, or if you want to stay out of it, I recommend Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and in Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Happy New Year and happy new engagement. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. You have heard me talk about corporate, fundraising, and even casino events, but we are also amazing wedding DJs. Never cheesy and always the perfect fit for the perfect couple. Please let us help you narrate your wedding day love story while playing an amazing soundtrack that will rock your dance floor. Create lifelong memories of your one special day. Do it right and do it with celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
It's New Year, new deals at Metro Ford of Madison. With 204 new vehicles in stock, Metro Ford is your home for the best selection and the biggest savings of 2025. Enjoy the 2024 Ford Escape with 1.9% APR for 66 months, $15.97 per thousand borrowed. Or get the future of driving with the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 72 months. But hurry, these deals end February 3rd. Visit Metro Ford in person or online at metrofordofmadison.com and drive off in the new Ford of your dreams today.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Take my heart, don't break it. Love me to my bones. All this time I wasted. You were right there all along. You and I start
I know this is the toughest division of football right now. There's 3 teams that made the playoffs this year. I've got tremendous amount of respect for the coaches and the players in this league, having competed against them for the last 6 years. Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about 2 guys that are up for Coach of the Year awards as the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
Where's the sad trombone? Boy, that was forced. Ugh. Speaking of, time for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Wonelli
on Wilde And Tausch.
Hey, I'd like to say congratulations to Mark Tauscher.
Oh, well, thank you.
You have officially worn the pants of a baseball Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Brewers
Thanks,
buddy. CC Sabathia.
Ichiro. Oh, I thought you were talking about Ichiro.
I don't know if you would have fit those. Ichiro's a small guy, is all.
You know what? Ever since you got skinny, you've become more.
Hey,
annoying.
I'm not fitting Ichiro's pants
No,
either, even
but
after with Matt going to
you know
Madison
what?
weight loss.
Ever since we used to kind of bond over, you were never as big as me, but you were a little pudgy and round and soft in the middle, and you were a little more. Now I feel like you're snobbish.
I didn't mean anything. Ichiro's a tiny
Everything
guy.
is Jason, Team Jason. Oh, Tausch doesn't do this. And it's because you svelte it up. You've become smug. You're a smug, svelte guy now. Don't like it. Don't like it.
Whoa, Nelly! Congratulations to Milwaukee Brewers legend and heavyset fella CC Sabathia on his induction.
By the way, CC's skinnier than you are now.
Is he? I don't know.
He's skinnier
I
than you.
haven't seen him in a while.
He's very svelte.
Whoa, Nelly! Please do a nice thing
Hey,
here.
Ben Johnson, how's this going for you?
Congratulations to CC Sabathia, along with Ichiro and Billy Wagner, on their inductions into the Baseball
Billy
Hall
Wagner?
of Fame class. Yes, the closer. Phillies.
Billy Wagner?
Astros. Yeah?
Okay.
What? It's not Hannes Wagner.
I'm just
Like,
still
what?
amazed.
What?
I am amazed. Again, Billy Wagner, I'm sure, had a nice career.
Great career.
You're telling me that Roger Blanken Clemens and Barry Blanken Bonds aren't in there, but Bill Wagner is? Bill Wagner?
Bill Wagner.
Okay. All right. Whatever. Whoa, Nelly!
Why is it so hard for us just to congratulate CC Sabathia on his induction?
CC Sabathia, by the way, love CC. The greatest pickup in the history of like those in-season rental type deals. What he did, I think it was the dawn of the new era. And how he sacrificed himself. I believe he was going to be getting a big fat contract. And he wasn't worried about, my arm and innings this and this. Whatever they asked him to do, he did it. And he got us back in the playoffs. I met CC a few times, got to BS with him, and then I stole his pants. That's a weird combination of things, but he's an old school dog. And I think Brewers fans love and adore him. And rarely do you see someone that comes for such a short period of time have the amount of love that the city of Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin have. And I think he feels it back. I saw some of his comments. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's awesome. I absolutely love it. And kudos to CC. He deserves everything that he's getting. There's that. That's what I was trying to do, but you kept calling me fat and then calling him fat. If you would have just been up straight with it, we'd have had this and we'd have been done earlier, Jesse.
That's on me. Yep.
Billy Wagner, 7-time All-Star, 422 career saves, a whip of .998. Strikeouts to walks, a 3.99.
That's very good.
He's pretty good there, boss.
No, he's fine. I'm not saying he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. I'm saying let's get serious about some of this other stuff.
Okay.
Kurt Schilling, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds. There's come on now.
What
come on
those,
now.
Okay. Today we're out of time.
Whoa, Nelly!
Oh yeah, that's it.
As much as I'd love to discuss the steroid era and what the Baseball Hall of Fame should do about them, what I really need to hear
from you. And by the way,
you,
Jason, your profession, what idiot didn't put Ichiro fully stocked and loaded so he was unanimous? Somebody's an idiot. I don't know who. Put your name on it. You want to be all Johnny, I'm going to be standout guy. Put your name on it and explain why Ichiro didn't get your vote. Okay?
Some players in the steroid
Anonymous
era were
sources.
fueled.
Put your name on it, bruh. Come on.
CC.
Some people in the
CC.
steroid era were fueled by steroids. Tausch, on the other hand, is fueled by Coors Light.
Coors Light, brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light is refreshing. It is crisp, but it's only 102 calories. Let's tip one up for CC, for Ichiro, and for Bill. Today is your day. Kudos to y'all. Coors Light, when you get into the Hall of Fame, or if you just want to chill, it's the drink to have. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
CC.
Watch every ESPN Madison show live every day. Subscribe to ESPN Madison on YouTube for live video of every show and exclusive content. Just search ESPN Madison.
Life's busy, and Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're grabbing fresh coffee, a bakery treat, or a quick meal, Quick Trip is your go-to for quality and fast service. From clean restrooms to fresh groceries, easy meal options, and guaranteed fuel, we make your day easier. Plus, enjoy perks like free ATMs, free air for your tires, and sweet rewards with the Quick Rewards program. Everything you need in one stop, and always a friendly, see you next time, Quick Trip, where your day gets easier and better.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you and check out the menu at greatdanepub.com. The college football season officially in the books after Ohio State's national title victory over Notre Dame. While the crown goes to the Big Ten, Mark Tauscher sees some holes regarding college football's future. From NIL, transfer portal, and growing conferences, here's what he had to say on Tuesday's edition of Wilde And Tausch.
The only way to actually do it is to say, we're going to get this thing so it's going to be a level playing field, and then it comes down to coaching, organization, and developing players. And it just feels like we are so far away from that I don't know what that formula is going to be.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
How good would it feel to start the new year by losing those unwanted pounds? At Madison Weight Loss, our Metabolic Reset program can help you finally lose those pounds without all the stress and frustration of trying to figure it out on your own. The secret is our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. Learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation and learn why your metabolism may be sabotaging your goals.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson, and yes, you can achieve that New Year's resolution to be healthier and drop unwanted weight. I lost 40 pounds during my 60-day program with Madison Weight Loss. It really works.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration without packaged food or injections. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days and have the tools to keep it off long term. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
NBA Thursday on ESPN Radio.
Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics, LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the fiercest rivalries in sports.
Thursday on 100.5 ESPN.
Let's make tonight the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait.
Oh, it's too bad we've run out of show. We won't be able to discuss the steroid era in baseball, but we will be back tomorrow. Tausch will probably not be on video. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Come